Hey Scout, my name is James Masella from Movie Death Buzz. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with me today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you as well.
So, what was it like getting to jump in the water for Into the Deep here, battling those sharks?
Oh
Why'd you want to
man,
take this role?
so fun. I've been obsessed with like water work for a very, very long time. I mean, Waterworld was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. And so obviously I was an actor as a kid, so I was like, "Oh, man, they got to do." And I was a swimmer, like I was a competitive swimmer, so I'm also a Pisces, so I'm like very water baby. So when this came, into my plate, I was like, "Wait, yeah, this I want to do this. I want to do some fun shark movie in the water."
So, I know you said you had some previous swimming experience. Did you have previous diving experience? Because I know your character Cassidy gets to do some scuba diving, goes out on a shark cage, and everything. Was that something you had to learn on set, or did you have previous experience doing that?
I'd had previous experience, but not like to the scale of what the movie makes it seem like. Like I think I bought a package. I was filming in Hawaii, and I bought a package on the Airbnb. They kind of do experiences, and I was like, oh, I want to go do this. So I bought this package. It was interesting. You have to be very comfortable in the water, especially with like it's like claustrophobia, right? It's like you have to remember to do everything correctly, and someone can panic being under the water for so long and being able to breathe. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe obviously my comfortability in the water helped with that, but they did put us through a course. It was a course that we took in Thailand. It was a day course. So I was like, okay, cool. But don't ask me why. By the end of the shoot, I was so like, I could do this, I got this. What our stunt characters and one of the actors who's actually like a professional diver, he was like, yeah, we're gonna actually go to the the sunken ship that we based the movie around. And I was like, I want to do it. Like, I want to do it. And I had my producers like this close because the guy that gave us did our instruction thing for scuba diving, he was like, "Yeah, I could put her through for maybe 2 days and then get her down there." I was like, "Okay." Crazy. I'm crazy.
You got to go in the shark cage and everything like that. And you had some experiences on set because Richard Dreyfuss plays your grandfather in this movie. And I don't know if you know this, but he was in this movie called Jaws back in the day. So
Yeah.
he had some experience with some sharks back then. Did you ever get to ask him about what it was like on set there dealing with those kind of sharks?
Dude, Richard is, I've known Richard for a while, because of the con world. We all end up, being friendly and I went up to Richard's table a few years back, and Jaws is one of my favorite movies, and he even back then, shared a bunch of stories from Jaws, and definitely on set, you don't have to ask Richard. He's like an open book, man. He loves to talk about it. He loves it. And it's a part of him. Like Halloween is a part of me. It's like that's like what made him, informed him, and obviously had a massive impact in his life. And yeah, so listening to his stories, whether I'd heard them before or not, it was really, really special.
When I saw the shark cage the first time, I just had that Quint line repeating in my head, like "Farewell and
Yeah.
adieu to you fair." That I was singing that all morning, and I was like, "That's fine." I couldn't figure it
Oh
out.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was, I mean, I feel like their shark cage that they had was probably way more legit than the shark cage that we had. I just remember like feeling the shark cage because obviously, I was like, wait, this is like, wait, is this legit, or like, can we test this first, the drop, before I go in there? Or my husband actually played a part in the movie, and he's a stuntman. He actually requested. He was like, "Yeah, let's do a test run before we stick Scout in."
Yeah, we'll do somebody else in there first, and we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah. Thankfully, we did that because I think the lever it automatically just went, and the cage just went and dropped to the bottom. So they were like, "Yeah, good thing we did that."
Don't want to kill the star. It's always a no
Yeah,
go at that point.
yeah.
Were you guys shooting like when we see you guys on the boat and the diving is actually happening? Is that in like a pool or is that in the actual ocean
Oh
itself when we
no.
see
That's in the fucking ocean in
that?
Krabi. That's like no, that's in Thailand water. That's the only tank water that we did was us at the ship, was the underwater work, and then me with the shark. Like everything else was, we had 5 boats like in the middle in the ocean in Krabi, like circling, and like safety boats, camera boats, the actual boats that we were filming, and then it was a cool experience. I
That's,
loved it.
sounds like it. You know, we talked about Richard and the cast, but you've also got John Sada, you've got Stuart Townsend, you've got Callum McCullum. What's it like working with all those guys? I mean, John's been around forever. Stuart almost did Lord of the Rings back in the day. What was the
Yeah.
experience like working with them?
Dude, I love being surrounded by talented dudes. I really do. I've envied all of their work. You know, I've worked with Stuart before, and so I was really excited to be reunited with him and John. I had been pinned for his cop show for a long time, so I had been watching his stuff for a while, and you know, being fans of them and then working with them and just knowing that they're equally as badass and cool people just like made the experience that much better. Yeah, it was really cool to watch them play and play with them and create this, this world.
So if they wanted you to come back for Into the Deep too, and you were batting like giant squids or something like that, you'd be totally
Fuck
down for
yeah.
that.
Fuck yeah. Let's go. Let's go, giant squids.
My wife will tell you my irrational fear is giant squids. I'm not worried
Is
about
it
sharks.
really?
I am terrified of things with like tentacles that
Huh.
grab you and everything like
I
that.
wonder why. I mean, obviously we can go back to what happened to you as a child. What
I,
was it?
I watched this mini series called The Beast with William Peterson in it, and that was the end of that at that
Okay,
point.
you're like,
I was
fuck
like,
this.
No, man, not going
No.
back there. She's like, want to go
Will
on a
you
cruise?
eat them? Will you
No,
eat them? Yeah, okay.
I won't even let them in the house.
Oh my God, hilarious. She's like, I just want to go get squid, babe. I just want to go eat squid.
She's like,
It's
let's go
funny.
on a cruise. I was like, no, I'm not taking the
No.
chance. I'm not getting sucked
Yeah.
by an art by a
God,
kraken.
I think there's so much more fearful shit on to go on a cruise that you should be afraid of before squid. Dude, the cruise life, I'm just like, what? Like I just hear all these horror stories about people going on cruises. I'm like, why do you choose to do that?
She's like, it's so irrational. I was like, yeah, but when I go and then it happens, and I'm just gonna look at you, and be like, I told you the squid was gonna show up, and now,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, it happened.
I'm just afraid of like if the food poisoning doesn't get me and the wild people gangs that are on those boats, then or me falling overboard, then maybe it's the
Well, you've got some
squids.
experience with some drug pirates now. You should be able to
Yeah.
handle them, I guess. This
Yeah, I'll be like, "Hey guys, I got this. I got this."
I mean, I can't. I see that poster behind you, the Halloween poster. I mean, I can't have you here and not ask about Rob Zombie's Halloween because I was running a Blockbuster in suburban Philadelphia when that
Oh
movie came
hell
out,
yeah.
and it was like when that DVD came out on like it came. I think it came out like right around Halloween. The DVD
Yeah.
was released. Everybody wanted that. What was it like working with Rob and getting to play that Laurie Strode character that Jamie Lee Curtis immortalized like 30 years before that?
Fucking life-changing, man. Like one of the best experiences of my life. One of the most lessons I will forever learn on a set, and the lessons that I've like taken with me as I've grown up as an adult and as I've grown up in my career. It was just fucking amazing. It really was. I wish I could go back in time as my age now and realize what epicness it was, and like because like I was a kid. I was 7. I turned 18 on the set. I was like a fucking little like hi, and now I'm like, fuck, Scouts, you know what that was. But maybe that was great. Maybe that was really good to be in that, that early stages of life, and like really like have it morph you and just like have no care in the world and just live in it as a child, so
I mean, I've always been interested in. I mean, I listened to Rob Zombie as a kid, so like when he started directing movies, it was like a whole different experience for me because his process and the way he sees things visually is just amazing to me.
it's so cool. It's so cool. I mean, anybody that disrespects that man, I'm like, fuck off. Fuck off. Don't. Don't come after anybody.
Are you like officially like a scream queen? Like, do you have to get inducted into that sorority? Do you consider yourself one of them?
Fuck, nobody like came over and was like, "Hey, you want to be a part of our club?" But I'm super honored because I fucking love it. Like this is the club that if I was going to be a part of any, it would be this one, and I love that I get to be in it with badass women, man, and women that I've looked up to, women that I now can call friends and that I still look up to, and I'm like, but like women that I get to work with, like It's really cool. It's I love the title. I fucking love the title. I know there's some people that are like, I hate this. I'm like, no, I fucking love it.
You're immortalized forever now. In 20
Yeah.
years, when they're doing the 100 scariest movie moments from whenever back in the day, you'll pop up on there and everything
Oh,
like
isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild to think about? Like I just have more shit that I gotta do then to like get up to like some sort of like other level. You know, that would be that's cool. That's epic. I love that.
I think the thing that was the weirdest for me watching that is you had Danielle Harris in it with you, who had been in the previous Halloween movie. So you could like pick her brain and be like, hey, what was it like doing this with all these guys back then? That was just seeing her in there was just surreal to me because, I loved her from Halloween and Boy Meets World and everything like that, The Last Boy Scout.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet it was. I bet it was for like the fan base to be able to see that. I mean, now I look back at it and I realize like what a big deal that was. And it's really cool to see that she has so much love and respect in the franchise and got to be able to continue to grow with it and really got to be able to like give kind of a I mean Annie's whole death in the second one it was kind of a Danielle Harris death to like the Halloween franchise and like a really cool send off for her character that like we appreciate you and we love you and like, I think Rob was really cool to do something like that for her.
Can you tell us about any future projects you have coming out before we wrap up that we can look forward to?
Yeah, man, I've got so much going on. I've kind of taken a step behind the camera and I've recently started directing. I directed a feature, a cop drama with Mickey Rourke at the beginning of last year. And then Danielle Harris and I just co-directed and I wrote a we wrote a script that's in the genre and I'm about to start writing our second feature and I've got other things that I'm directing coming up. I've got I'm starting to write and I'm wanting to form a production company and I want to do some sick stuff. So I've got a lot. It's good. It feels good. I feel like I'm always a late bloomer, so I feel like I've finally found my voice and it definitely like the genre, the fans in the genre definitely have helped me find my voice and it's been really lovely to have that support and just grow into this new chapter of my life.
Well, that's awesome. You're doing all that stuff. So what I heard was we'll be talking again in the future on other projects,
Yes,
basically, is what.
yes we will. Yes we will. I can't wait. That'll be exciting.
I hope I get to see you at some conventions. I'm in Philadelphia and New York. I go to LA sometimes to do stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
come
So
and say hi. Come and say hi.
always.
Remind me that we did this and that yeah, it'd be awesome to catch up.
But I appreciate you sitting down with me today, Scott. I can't wait for everybody to see Into the Deep and hear what they all thought about it. Thanks for sitting down with me today.
Awesome. Thanks, James. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Bye.
Bye.